Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Starting our final afternoon session for the 2023 Ataxia Conference, please welcome to the stage your hosts, Joel Sutherland and Dana Morrow.
Hey, 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 hey!
We're back.
We're back, and let's see, anybody taking a nap after a nice big lunch out there? Just kind of ease it. Yeah, there we go. There's, yeah, thumb up there. Hope everybody's nice and comfortable, ready for another big afternoon here.
Yeah. I mean, what'd you guys think about that session this morning about the physical therapy and all the movement? That was really great, right? And you know, I will tell you that it's really important to move, and it's probably something that's important for the care partners to hear as well. Because when John first got diagnosed, I was like, don't do this and don't do that, and you know, please be careful. And literally, he really needed to move. And I swear, Joel, that half the reason he's still so mobile today is because he's kept moving. So I think it's a really important message.
You know, for sure. There have been a number of conferences over the last 5 or 6 years I've been to where we'll have a number of our principal investigators up on stage, and they will use the phrase, move it or lose it. Okay, so it's really important to keep doing those things and pushing everything off as long as you can. So keep moving, keep moving.
As long as it's safely.
And speaking of moving, the bid on the for the tie has moved. It's moved up. We're now at $205, and we're ready to keep going. So for whatever it's worth, the dollars that coming on this bid will go to our Accelerate campaign. The Accelerate campaign was started last February. It's $1 million goal, and the whole intent is to create unrestricted funding to help us look at the second half of our mission, and that is to improve the lives of those living with ataxia. By all means, we talk about treatments and finding a cure, but the other piece is to improve the lives of those living with ataxia, such as finding ways to provide free genetic testing. Recently, we just launched an on-site marketplace that we've just put on place, and it's going to become very robust, so folks can come to that site and see new devices that can help you with your daily living. So the Accelerate Fund, with a goal of $1 million, is slightly over $325,000, I believe, right now. So we're a little bit of ahead of pace, but we're going to put these dollars towards that. And at your time of giving, we hope that you'll consider Accelerate if that can meet your needs. So
yeah, I have a special announcement.
All right.
So we have a winner for our exhibition bingo game. I'm wondering if Stan Jenkins is in the room.
Is Stan here?
Is Stan?
I see it. Hey, Stan, winner, winner.
Winner, winner, Stan.
There we go.
So you need to go to registration by 5 p.m. to pick up your prize. You've got a gift card waiting for you. So congratulations.
There we go. All right, so our first session this afternoon, living with ataxia. And we have a great panel discussion set for you. Our three guests coming up now, Jonas Chepkauskas. I get to introduce Jonas because I think the first time I met him, I actually said his name correctly, so he has no problem with that. Darian Hollingsworth from Charlotte. And Kathleen Gingerelli, our support group leader from the tri-state area, and moderating our session this afternoon. Our first session is Dr. Sarah Ying. Dr. Ying is specializing in neurology at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary. So welcome to the stage, everyone. There we go. Dr. Ying, you want to be on this side or that side? It looks like this side is going to work better. There you go.
There you go.
And we have.
All right. Can't wait to hear from you guys.
Does anybody want water? We'll
pass these down.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there you go. All right.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Got it.
All right. Well, super. Can everybody hear me now? All right. Welcome. Hope everybody had a good lunch. Hearing a little feedback? That's okay. We want feedback from the audience, not from the audio. But if we've already introduced our guests, but we'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe can you tell us a little bit about your background? Why don't we start with Darian?
Sure, thanks. Darian Hollingsworth. I'm coming here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Excuse me. So I do have SCA7, and we're pretty sure it started with my mom's mom. So she had SA7. She was misdiagnosed initially. I'm sure a lot of us have experienced that, but eventually we got to the proper diagnosis. She had 8 children, including my mother, and all 8 ended up with SA7. And then my mom had my sister and I, and we both have SA7. And 2 of my daughters also have SA7, so it's pretty, I mean, they say there's a 50% chance, but it doesn't feel like that for my family. Because of what they call anticipation, each generation has more higher repeats, more severity, earlier onset. So I'm 42 and I'm here speaking to you now, but my daughter who's 20, she can't really even travel, and she's almost completely blind and really extremely, she has difficulty speaking, and with any mobility, it's just really bad. It's really tough. So, and my 16-year-old daughter, Kelsey, she's on the way there. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot, but that's about it.
Thanks, Darian. Jonas, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm from Chicago. In a couple of months, I'm turning 68. I was diagnosed 28 years ago. So let's just round it off to 30. Keep things easy. Anyways, I'm here to tell you that you have to change for ataxia. It doesn't change for you. Nothing you can do is going to change the ataxia right now. That's why conferences like this are so important, because they're looking for a way for us. Anyways, back to myself. See, I have ataxia and I've had it for a long time. I just ramble about anything. So I can forget what I'm saying when I'm saying it, while I'm saying it. So excuse me while I ramble on. Anyways, I was a professional musician. I played bass for about 35 years. After I couldn't play and sing anymore, I became a mobile DJ. After I couldn't move the equipment around and make the announcement, if you mispronounce somebody's name, they're gonna come and cut your head off. So I quit that, and I started an online radio station. It all involved music. It all involved what I'd like to do. It wasn't playing, and I just, you got to go with the flow. Like I said, ataxia doesn't change for you. You got to change for it. And you look at all 3 of us up here, and you see wheelchairs. You don't have to be there. Just because there's a wheelchair in the corner doesn't mean you have to be in it. One thing about the cerebellum, you'll discover it helps control some of your emotions. So I may start tearing up a little bit, but that's the way it is. See, my voice is choking already. Anyways, I have three kids and five grandkids. One of my daughters has ataxia. She got, well, obviously from me. Boy, that hurts. Anyways, like I say, I've got 5 grandkids. One of them is a Down syndrome baby. I also have aunt and my brother-in-law have Parkinson's. The thing about ataxia, you become more compassionate with everything. There is, you know, I don't know the actual mechanics behind everything, but when you have, you know, Down syndrome or something like that, it's rough. And like my daughter has ataxia, and she's 45. She's a special ed teacher in Milwaukee. So one thing that I can say to you is this life is doable. Ataxia isn't as terrible as some people make you think. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Jonas. Kathleen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Kathleen Gingerelli. I live in New Jersey. I have Friedreich's ataxia. I was born with it, but I was just always assumed to be a clumsy child. That was my nickname growing up, was the klutz. It wasn't really until high school things started getting worse. Stairs became an issue. When I first went to my first neurologist, they were able to tell me what it wasn't. Nobody was ever able to tell me what it was, and nobody went the extra steps to figure it out. I was just told, it's not this, you're fine, don't worry about it, go home. In 2002, a family friend who's a doctor, he's the first one that came to us with the word ataxia, sent me to a friend of his who's a neurologist. Within 3 seconds, the doctor pretty much said, this is what I think it is. He did the genetic test, it came back positive. So I've had an official diagnosis since 2002. My progression was slow. I just started using a wheelchair basically about a year ago. And I use it when I'm out. When I am home in my apartment, I still use my walker. The wheelchair and the scooter out are just easier, keeps me up with everyone else. So I'm the only one, I have one brother who is 17 months younger than myself, and he does not have it. So it starts and ends with me. I don't have any children. So yeah, I stopped working full-time about 10 years ago, and I run the Tri-State Support Group. So most of my members are central North New Jersey and pretty much all 5 boroughs of New York. We meet in New York. When we can meet in person, we will be back. And we have our walk and roll every year in Liberty State Park in New Jersey. So that keeps me busy, everything but the support group. I couldn't work full time and do that, so.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Kathleen. Just wondering, now, I'm sure we'd all like to hear a little bit more about how much of a physical and emotional impact the disease has had on your life and on your family. Darian, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So on the physical side, so for me at least, I took a genetic test in 2012, and because we knew that it ran in my family, that's why I took the test. It's not because I had any issues. I didn't have onset until maybe 2019, so I kind of knew what was coming, and that was stressful. Things started to progress pretty rapidly from 2019, and I haven't driven for years because I really can't see much. SA7 affects your vision as well as a lot of the other issues that we all experience. I don't drive. I can't see very well. I don't even write, so my wife has to do a lot of that for me. That's really helpful. And on the emotional side, like I said, just knowing what was coming because I was diagnosed before I really had the onset, that was really stressful. And experiencing what we're experiencing now with the family and so many people within the family having the same condition, and nobody can really help each other because we're all, kind of in the same situation. So yeah, that's extremely stressful. But so I have my wife, she's here, and that's really important. That's really helpful. That's a big difference. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks so much. Jonas, what about you?
What about me? I ask myself that every day. Anyways, what was the question? See what I mean?
Physical and emotional impact.
That's one of them.
Disease.
Like I said, I can forget what I'm saying when I'm saying it.
On yourself and on your family.
Okay. Physically, yes, it is tough. When people ask me questions, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just tell you the truth. Okay? Because sugarcoating everything doesn't help anyone. So you got to remember, first of all, that it's not all about you. It's about the family, the neighbors, the friends. It's very hard for them to watch you going through what you're going through. And there's nothing you can do about it, and there's nothing they can do about it. But that's life. We've all got something. And although that is not helpful to someone with ataxia, is that it may be worse off, but it doesn't help. And another thing that doesn't help is when somebody, I take myself for instance, when I'm standing there, if I'm falling, if anybody with ataxia is losing their balance, everybody else's automatic reaction is to get up and try to help. Don't do that. It's no longer help, it's hindrance. Think about it this way. I live like this every day of my life, and I'm still here, okay? And I do things without people's help. When I'm going down or whatever, I have a plan in my head that I'm going to grab this, I'm going to try this, and if someone comes up to me and wraps their arms around me, the whole thing goes to hell, okay? So if somebody's having a problem, I know it's real hard, you bite your tongue and you hold on to your chair. You got to let them do their thing. You just have to, because sometime that thing is going to come around again and you're not going to be there. And it just messes things up. So physically, you will, well, some people will get some people will, okay, let me put it this way. You have ataxia. Right now, at this minute, to him or to her or to anybody out there, the type you have doesn't make a difference. There many symptoms are similar. Whether you have, it's like a car, okay? Whether you have a Ford Focus, a Dodge minivan, a Cadillac Escalade, they're all cars, but they are totally, totally different. Ataxia is like that. You may have Friedrich's, you may have SAH, whatever, you may have episodic, you have ataxia. I understand that it's the type comes into play if you're planning a family and all that, and it's real good for researchers to know what type you have. It's not a bad thing to know what type you have, but unless you're planning your family, it's not that important to me, anyways. Besides that, I'm probably rambling and taking up too much time.
You're doing great. We have lots of questions, but let's give Kathleen a chance. Tell us a little bit about the physical and emotional impact of the disease on yourself and on your family.
Well, I consider myself lucky enough that I have friends and family who still include me and help me with everything. So I especially have my mother, the one over there who looks like me, who we do everything together. Usually you can't find one without the other. Even though she has a cell phone, if someone's trying to call her, they will call me. And where's your mother? Okay, here. Like, she has a cell phone, dial her, but we do everything together all the time. And even my friends, if we make plans, because I don't drive anymore. I actually just sold my car last month. So someone will come pick me up. It's not an inconvenience. I do have, we are big football fans. We have season tickets for the Giants. We are at every game. We don't stop, we're there. And so physically, it's hard, especially loading the wheelchair in and out of the car. Sometimes I got a light one, but yeah, I see it's hard. So, but we just do what we can do. Some days are better than others, and on bad days when you have to stay home and rest, you do it. But we make plans all week, so we are always doing something. Emotionally, it's, again, some days are bad. We do live in the same house, but I have the apartment upstairs. She lives downstairs. So if I'm having a bad day where I just don't want to talk to anybody, it's very easy to say, okay, downstairs, you're done, don't come up anymore. She'll do the same to me, go upstairs, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So we do what we got to do and, yeah, keep going.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Now that we understand a little bit about where you're coming from and some of the challenges that you've been facing, can you tell us a little bit about the process of gaining a new vision of yourself and your life? Let's switch up the order a little bit. Kathleen, can we call on you again?
Gaining a new vision?
Yeah, gaining a new vision in life.
Well, once I stopped working, I was worried about what I was going to do all day. But when I was asked to take over the support group, I didn't realize how much work it was going to entail, honestly. But I took it over, and it's kept me busy. I'm constantly getting emails from new members, people who were just diagnosed, who have questions. And then about 6 years ago, the NAF asked me if I would start a walk and roll for our area, because there wasn't one for the whole tri-state area. So I did, and trying to find just a location that was central to New York and New Jersey was the biggest obstacle. I couldn't find something far enough in New Jersey the New York people wouldn't come to, and vice versa. So this Liberty State Park is right on the Hudson River, right across from New York. Actually, when you're at the park, you see the Statue of Liberty, the skyline. So they give us a gorgeous spot. It's easy for everyone from New York to get to. It's easy for everyone from New Jersey to get to. So we have it there, and we're staying there every year, but that's a lot of work. I start usually when I get home from this conference, I will start planning the walk for August and to get everything done. We have not only the walk, but we do raffles, baskets, so all that keeps me busy. So I have something to do every day. And then, of course, once the fall hits, I'm at a football game every Sunday, either there or on TV, so everyone knows not to bother me on a Sunday or Monday night, maybe a Thursday night.
All right. Thank you. Do we have people here from the tri-state area? A little shout out for all you guys? Yes?
Yeah,
Everybody?
those are actually my group members.
All right. So a lot of great work going on there. Darian, let's go back to you. How about tell us about your process for gaining new vision on life and self?
It's probably a two-part answer. The first thing I did, so I had to stop working about 2 years ago, and once I accepted the fact that, so my body is failing me, but my mind is not, I had to figure out, like Kathleen said, something to keep me busy, something to, contribute myself and my time to. So I started a nonprofit called the Hollingsworth Foundation to specifically raise awareness for SA7, because I don't have a single person in my life, other than my family, obviously, that have the condition, who even knows what ataxia is, much less specifically SA7. So I'm just trying to educate as many people as I can and raise awareness. So I spend a lot of my time doing that with the foundation. And the second part, as far as kind of reinventing myself, and I'm still struggling with this, but I really try to focus more so on what I can do and not so much what I can't do anymore. So that's hard. It's still a battle for me to change that mindset, but that's a big thing that I've been told, and I understand and believe that I should continue to focus on what I can do, not what I can't do. So
That's a great message. Are we getting some good ideas here? All right. Jonas, your turn. Tell us a little bit more about your process for gaining a new vision on life.
Okay, I started out, when I was in my previous life, I referred to my life before ataxia diagnosis as my previous life. But I was basically a construction worker. I wound up with my own painting business. I was a Greyhound bus driver for a while, so I passed through a lot of your cities, I'm sure. But as time goes on, it just, ataxia took over, and I know that, many of you out there might be, it's very simple. Ataxia, like I say, you change for it doesn't change for you. So go ahead and like me, like I said, I did live musicianship. I was a mobile DJ and then a radio DJ. That's the way it is. You gotta do what works for you. I do what works for me. It doesn't always work, but you got to try. Everybody has to try. Everybody has to wake up in the morning saying, I'm going to figure this out, and that's it. Those who lay there on the couch, I can't do anything, my legs don't work, my arms don't work. You're going to sit on the couch for a long, long time, because nobody buys it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to do what works for you. A lot of you out there, you might think, oh, life is over. It's not. It's really not. You just, like they said, or like Darian said, you got to focus on what you can do and not what you can't. Because you will go down that hole and never come out of it.
That's it.
Same with if you try to self-diagnose yourself or figure out things about ataxia, you can go down the hole real bad and never come out of it, and you're more confused than when you started. So you got to be careful. You got to listen to the people that have been there.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Now, from the people who've been there, can we have a little bit of advice on home and device adaptations? And then, Jonas, we'll let you start off again.
Oh, okay. Mistake. Anyways, I have probably 5 grab bars in my bathtub area. I have grab bars around the house. They might look stupid, but they work for me. I am at the point where I can't get from point A to point B without holding on to something or leaning on something. But that's the way it is, and that's the way I've learned, and that's what I've adapted to, and that's what works for me. Grab bars, music. Music is ridiculously excellent. If you're ever down and out and you put on a really good tune, you want to get up and dance. And if you can't dance, dance in your head. I do that a lot.
That's great advice. Darian.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the grab bars. Grab bars, especially in the bathroom. Apparently, that's where most accidents happen. It makes sense. It's wet. It's whatever, dangerous. So grab bars in the bathroom for sure. Anywhere that you have to navigate stairs, you know, there's like 2 steps down in my garage. I put a grab bar there because I can't see that well. No one in my house is allowed to move the furniture, like at all. I have to know where everything is all the time, so that's a big help for me. If you move the furniture, I'm all messed up. If you leave something on the floor, I'm all messed up. So I have to know where everything is.
Yep.
And I think that's it for now. I think I need a chair more closer to the television. I'm gonna work on that because like I have to stand up right in front of the TV so I can see it. And it's my thing, but I'm gonna be working on that soon. But that's it for now, thankfully.
Thank you. Kathleen.
Well, when I moved into my apartment, I moved in about 6 years ago. Like I said, it's my mother's house. It used to be my grandparents' house. They were downstairs. My mother was in the apartment upstairs. When they passed, she moved down and she offered me the apartment. I sold my house and I moved into the apartment. Before I moved in, I did remodel. I got rid of all the carpets. I made there's 2 bathrooms. One bathroom I just made bigger with a huge walk-in shower with a seat. And then there's grab bars throughout the house. Not only in the bathrooms, but throughout the house as well. In my room, in the master bedroom, bathroom, I put a walk-in tub. It's a small one, but it's a walk-in tub with the jets, and it comes in very handy for some days where the jets are wonderful. So yeah, it was a lot of remodeling, and there's a lot of space. Like I said, I use the walker throughout. The walker does not fit into my bedroom, but I have like a system, you know, where you grab onto the nightstand. I have a 4-poster bed, so grab onto the bed, the wall to the bathroom to get the grab bar. So there's a way to do it that's in my head. I know exactly where it is. Like Darian says, if something is moved, yeah, it probably would be on the ground. And actually, I mean, I've fallen in the house, but not really seriously hurt myself. We have a place in Florida that is in the process of being remodeled, so the grab bars aren't up there. Back in 2017, we went on vacation, and the second night, putting on my shoes for dinner, without anything to grab on, I happened to fall and I broke my leg. So much for my vacation. I was in the hospital and rehab while my mother got to sit by the pool every day. So we are in the process of putting grab bars down in Florida.
Oh my goodness. Cautionary tale for everyone. All right, so these are a lot of good ideas about physical supports. How about emotional support? self-advocacy. What are your support systems like? And what do you need to make sure of that you know about your own diagnosis, your own care, and everything? Darian, can we start with you?
Sure. So from an emotional side, so I don't want to offend anyone, but just so you know, I live with my wife, I live with my sister-in-law, I have 3 daughters in the house as well, and I am easily the most emotional person. I was told I was demanded to get a therapist, and so I totally advise that to anyone who has access to someone who's a professional regarding, psychology, therapy, counseling, whatever, because someone that you can talk to just kind of, if you just need to vent, if you need to understand things about yourself and, help you get into a different mindset to navigate the difficulties that you're experiencing or will be experiencing soon. So, that's my biggest thing.
That's super important. Thank you. Kathleen, back to you.
I have a couple of very close friends that I can vent with that they know, especially if I have to vent about things that are going on in the house that I don't want to argue with my mother about. So, like I said, I have a lot of good friends. So they'll listen to me, talk, get me out of the house if I need to, or go away, anything. So I think I have a lot of support. I think I'm luckier than a lot of people. I have a lot of people around me who are willing to help and even just listen.
That's so important. Jonas, tell us about your emotional support.
A thick skin. Like I said, everyone might look around and see all these devices and everything. They're there to help. They're not there to take over your life. They're there to help. I am grateful for this. He is grateful for that. She is grateful for that. Nobody wants to be here, but here's where we are. So we got to make the best of it. Emotionally, the sport, like I mentioned earlier, it's not all about you. It's about family. It's about friends. It's about people who love you. It's very hard for them to watch us go through what we're going through. See, it's turning on again. But it's doable. Nobody wants to be here, like I said, but we are. You can do it. Works for you. You gotta count on others for support. You have to have a medical team. You have to have a support team. Everybody needs both. You can't do it with one. Sorry, Dr. Ying, but you can't do it with just medical advice. Yeah. You got to piece it together. I've been piecing things together for a long, long time, and it keeps me busy. Life with ataxia is interesting, if nothing else.
We're coming towards the end of our session, and so I'm just wondering if each of you has one thought that you want to leave our audience with. And let's start with you, Kathleen.
I always tell my support group that it's, like Jonas said, or Darian said, to concentrate on what you can do, not what you can't do, but that even the way you used to do things, you may not be able to do it that way anymore, but you can still do it. You just have to find a different way to do it. It may take you a little longer, or you may need some help doing it, but you can still get it done.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Darian, how about you?
So yeah, Kathleen stole my answer. Definitely, and like I said, it's really difficult. It's definitely easier said than done. But I mean, no matter what's taken away from you, there's always something left because you're here. So focus on what you can do and not what you can't.
That's wonderful. Jonas?
Okay. You probably don't know. You'll learn this in time. This is for the newly diagnosed and recently diagnosed. But there are probably over 100 types of ataxias. You have one of them. It doesn't mean you're going to be like everybody else. And I leave you with this one thing. If you think that you can't do something, or you think that you can do something, you're probably right.
All right. And so I'd like to take another moment to thank all of our panelists for all of their advice. And we hope that everybody has found something in what they have said that they can take away with them and that they can bring to others that they love. And be sure to take the opportunity to speak to our panelists afterwards, especially if you have other questions, and thank them for their time.
All right, and Dan's going to be interesting.